It's a big night for the Supreme Court. We've got more on President Trump's Supreme Court nomination. Judge Brett Kavanaugh, his confirmation would swing the balance of the high court to the right and could lead to a revisiting of such hot button issues as abortion and gay marriage. Outgoing Justice Anthony Kennedy cast the deciding vote in the landmark case that recognized the right of same-sex couples to marry. But there is concern in the LGBT community that his departure will inspire challenges that would force the court to revisit that 2015 case. It is an issue that hits home for my next two guests, who were one of the two plaintiff couples in the Proposition 8 lawsuit that restored marriage equality in California and ultimately made its way to the Supreme Court. With me now, Jeff Zarrillo and Paul Katami. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thanks for having us.
So how big of an issue is this nomination in the LGBT community?
Well, it's certainly a big issue, and it certainly has our community a little bit on edge. Justice Kennedy had certainly left a legacy on the court for protecting minorities, especially the LGBT community, by writing the Lawrence decision, the Romer decision, Obergefell, and Windsor. So he has always referenced the importance of equal human dignity for LGBTQ citizens, and that's something that we want to protect. There's no putting this genie back in the bottle, we hope, because the court has typically not gotten ahead of public opinion, but as your last guest referenced, 67% of Americans support the freedom to marry for our community.
Absolutely, and that number swells when you talk to younger generations. And, you know, it's not just a matter of cultural curiosity. It is something that has reached critical mass, and there is now cultural acceptance, and rightly so. And I think a lot of people think that it's time for the court to move on to other issues. There's not going to be another justice like Anthony Kennedy. Every justice charts their own course here, and it remains to be seen whether or not Judge Kavanaugh will swing once he gets on the court. That's always a big worry for presidents. But is there anyone of the list of people that you saw that President Trump was considering, was there anyone on that list that you would have been more comfortable with?
You know, we're listening to Kavanaugh tonight, we had some hope, right? Because he did say that precedent was something that he would consider. And once settled law is settled law and doesn't present an injury or any harm, then it should remain settled law, especially when it expands on the rights of a minority group of people that are good standing Americans that rely on the court to do what it's there to do, enhance and expand the rights of all Americans. So we're hopeful. It's our job now. It's an opportunity to make sure that precedent stands.
And I think it will. I think it will here. And you're absolutely right about Judge Kavanaugh. And it appears that one of the guiding principles he has is that he does, in fact, defer to precedent, especially in major cases that has already been set. Now, as a civil libertarian, we were talking about this a little bit earlier, I'm much more concerned about the Fourth Amendment than any of the other amendments that generate hot-button issues before the courts.
Well, what you're going to see going forward is when we talk about marriage equality, and one thing I really did like hearing tonight was when Kavanaugh talked about his mother, and his mother said, equality is important for all people, and that really resonated with me. It's the one thing I remembered. But going forward, we might not be worried about marriage equality, and certainly we can't predict that sitting here today. But we certainly should be concerned about a gradual chipping away of LGBT equality. Maybe you want to refer to seeing more cake cases. You know, you might see things like that with regards to religious, what I don't like to call it religious freedom, because let's call it what it is. It's a religious exemption. That's what concerns us most moving forward for our community at the Supreme Court.
If you read that decision, though, Justice Kennedy was very clear that you also have to give weight to the valid religious beliefs of the plaintiff in that case, while at the same time not infringing on the civil rights of minority groups.
It's true, and we honestly believe that it's not a question of your faith being an issue that that is in your home or in your community. It is about the faith of these people that are then using it to create law that prohibits other people from equal access. And we know when we're standing in front of that courtroom, and in that courtroom, equal justice under the law means equal. And so what we need to do is make sure we're protecting our freedoms, because as Jeff had mentioned, these slight chippings away, one day we wake up, apathy might set in, and we might be realizing
in many ways, apathy has set in regards to our civil liberties. And I think above all, it's critical that we have a constitutionalist on that court, someone who understands and really is an originalist in that this is the rule book that we decided to play with. And therefore, the laws as they are written are the laws that are to be honored.
But the most important thing in that Constitution says that all men are created equal. And that's really for our community.
And women.
Men and women.
All people.
That's the one thing that Justice Kennedy always referenced in all of his opinions. Dignity. Human dignity. That's all we were looking for when we went to the Supreme Court, and that's all our community is looking for today and moving forward. And we always could use the courts as a backstop, and you could always trust Kennedy's vote for our community on that court for the greater degree. But right now, moving forward, we don't know if we have the Supreme Court as a backstop anymore.
What I would say is if you have particular concerns, make sure you contact your senator, because oftentimes, whether it's Republicans or Democrats, they like to sit in front of the American public in moments like this, especially when these are emotional nominations, and they like to showboat and ask stupid questions and fan the flames of emotionalism as opposed to coming to real, rational conclusions. And I hope to God every senator takes the opportunity to put their adult pants on so we can put Judge Kavanaugh to the test and really determine what his judicial philosophy is. So we know if he's on that court for decades to come, we know what we're getting. Gentlemen, thank you so much, and continued luck.
Thanks for having us.
Very good.